Welcome to The Positive Side on RVNTV. My name is Ann DeSantis. I'm your host. Great to be here. And I am joined by Jessica Shaw. She is the owner of The Nail Scientist. So if you have your phone or your laptop, you want to open it up and check out thenailscientist.com. Learn more. And what they do is they provide an alternative to nail polish. They're nail polish strips. I love it. So welcome, Jess. Good to see you.
Oh, so good to see you.
Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. Now, we have something in common also, the fact that my daughters are older and babysitters, and she's got young children, Gwen and Dean, ages 6 and 3.
Yep.
And my daughter babysits for her kids, and
Your daughters are the only people that I trust babysitting my kids. So they're fantastic.
Thank you so much. I'm sure that they're glad to hear that too. So wondered if we could talk a little bit about the fact that you were in the corporate world.
Yeah.
And then now you've decided, at some point you did decide that you wanted to stay home with your children. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that story in your life.
Sure. So I guess a good place to start is when I first got into the corporate world. I had been working at an experimental farm. I was doing organic farming research. And that step to the pharmaceutical industry is a pretty big one. But you have to pay the bills, and I was really excited by chemistry. So I got an entry-level position as an analytical chemist. And I really enjoyed working my way up through the ranks and ended up at a director level position, which had sites in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, a lot of contract laboratories that I was working with, and really an excellent career opportunity. Then I got pregnant with my daughter, and she was born, and I would say it wasn't long after she was born that I realized I was no longer breathing air, I was breathing Gwen. I surrendered to motherhood, and it became obvious to me that to meet her needs and to meet my needs as a mom, I needed to be with her full time. I'll say that I was in a place that I was lucky enough to be able to follow my gut. And I really want to encourage other moms, if they are able to really follow their instincts and be with their children, and especially in those early days. But really, they don't stop needing you. So stay with them as long as you can. But I gave up that, my corporate position to be with my kids, and it was the right choice. It was definitely the right choice.
Thank you for sharing. And I know that you and I have talked about this before because my children are older, as my viewers know and you know. Yeah. And that was a decision that I had made as well, being home with the kids for a given period of time. Right. And also into some of the holistic lifestyle, eating properly. Right. I know that you were also a breastfeeding mother too, and
right.
So healthy. I did the same, and always I'm glad that I made that decision, and encourage moms out there too to give it a try.
Yeah.
So, and also whole foods, of course, eating whole foods. And I know that's something that we both kind of have discussed and agree on, that part of eating right. It really makes a difference at a young age.
And I think it makes a difference for their lifetime. To introduce, they call it baby-led weaning now, which is essentially the baby is in charge of how they eat. So you don't spoon feed a baby things out of a jar. You put out an assortment of foods that babies can pick up in their fist, and they can explore and do this. And it's a much more natural way for food to be introduced to babies. But you brought up breastfeeding, and I just wanted to say, breastfeeding, if I had to say what is the most transformative experience in my life, of course, becoming a mother. There is so much power in motherhood. And so much of that power is tried to take away from us. When you can step into that and own it, there's so much power here. You have breastfeeding, which really is the ultimate being off the grid, right? Like, this is food you make yourself with your body. It's free. There's no label on it. It's not marketed. It's powerful. It's incredibly powerful. I think that you
I've
felt that
experienced
way.
the same, yes, and I didn't expect. I was just like you in the fact that when my oldest daughter was born, I thought I was going back to work,
Right.
and had that experience inside my heart, which told me this time is going to go so fast. And I had decided at that time to stay at home with her, and continued, and actually even wound up homeschooling my two daughters, and successfully. They're now, one's a college graduate and the other one is in college,
Right.
and you know them well. So
Right, and
and viewers know my daughters because I talk about them enough. So
I'm starting the homeschooling journey
Okay.
with
Very
my children.
good.
So yeah, we definitely see eye to eye on
do.
on this. But I think that in our society we have kind of gotten away from. Nobody talks about how, it's almost revolutionary to do this. It's revolutionary for you to feed your baby in this way and give them this perfect food. And I don't know, I feel like that, realizing that I had that power. And now I know not everybody can. I want to be
Yes.
sensitive to that for sure. However, we were designed to do this. So most of the time it works.
Most of the time it
Most of
works.
the time it works, and we were designed in community so that if it didn't, you had an aunt or a sister who could help you out. We don't have that now. Our culture
That's
has
a good
broken
point.
down. We don't have that right now, but I think it can work more times than not, and we have quite a big industry, a formula that is not just for the cases of where it doesn't work.
Exactly.
No.
Good points. Good points. So, also encouraging the viewers that are watching, especially if you're pregnant or going
Yes.
to be having a child, is to consider an organization called La Leche League. And I'm not sure of the exact website, but you can look that up online
Yes,
and learn about them, because they do support people like Gwen, and when I was younger and had young children,
Right.
and decide that you want to breastfeed and get that knowledge and community too, because like you said about the community, you're meeting other moms that are in that same exact situation.
Right.
So,
They have a great book. I'm not sure what edition it's in now, but it's called The Womanly Art of Breastfeeding. But don't let the title throw you off. Because when I saw that, being pregnant, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
It seemed such a strange title to me. And I think that's something I also wanted to touch on, is like a lot of the stuff about breastfeeding, read as much as you can. Not going to make any sense till that baby is here.
exactly.
And until you start walking the road, you can't understand. I mean, the first time that I heard of somebody breastfeeding to like a full term, to 6 years old or something, I don't want to say horrified, that's too strong, but I was confused. I was
Yes.
like, what? How could that be? But then once I got into, being a mother and breastfeeding my children and seeing that you're meeting a need of connection and closeness, and it is not just formula from your body. It's more than that. And then it started to make sense to me. And so I would just caution any, very new moms or pregnant moms or thinking about becoming pregnant moms, read up, get educated and make the plan to succeed. There are lactation consultants on hand at your hospital. You can read. There's kellymom.com. There's great, I think it's lli.org for the La Leche League
Okay, thank
International. So there's lots of resources, but the proof is in the pudding. Once you start, it'll make more sense.
It's a blessing for me that we have this topic and we can share, because it is something I will admit, I do feel strongly about this, and that it is the right choice for moms, if you can, like you said.
Right.
It doesn't work out for everyone, but the fact that it's just the natural choice. So, also, a lot of times in communities where I live, we had a nursing mothers group too. So in addition to something like a La Leche League, you might have a community breastfeeding group. So that's another option too, is just checking that out, because meeting those other moms. When my daughters were younger, we were in a play group with a bunch of breastfeeding mothers, and it was just really nice to meet them, and they were at home at the time, so it's a real blessing.
Yeah, I think something that's changed is like a lot of our community has moved online. So that's great in the sense that you can so I was into baby wearing. I don't know.
I was too.
Okay. So I had this phase, right, where my kids were tiny and I wanted to be able to do stuff. So I would, wrap yards of fabric around my body and strap them on and we would do things. So that's kind of a niche thing, right? But I could find a group of people who were also doing that because of the internet, right? However, that said, you need the community. You need the mom that lives 3 minutes away for when, you just have to get out of the house or your friend, So I definitely think there's so much great, conversation online, and you can be with like-minded people, but you really do need to try to find your local tribe as well.
Local tribe.
Yeah.
Excellent. So moving forth, because I know, you had this terrific job
Right.
with a large pharmaceutical company,
Yes.
and as you shared, you made good money at it too.
Right.
And when you made that decision, so take us a little bit on that path. What happened there? Because obviously, the nail scientist
Right.
came into the picture.
Right. Well, I will say that it was not my plan to leave my job. I looked at daycares. I thought this was this is what people did, was not the plan. Again, that's why I said study up, read up, and when the baby comes, you may change your mind. But I did a PowerPoint presentation to my husband of our budget of how things could work with us just having one income, But when I walked away, I really did completely walk away. And I immersed myself in those early days with both children. I have a son who's 3, almost 3.5. And being able to really be responsive and with him and her, that was important to me. But, once they're not newborns anymore, there does come this place where you say, okay, I'm a mom and I value that role, but my kids don't need me as viscerally as they did before. Who am I now? What do I look like now? And so for me, in May of this year, I started The Nail Scientist, which was me taking science, which was always my backbone, how I had been trained and how I see the world through a filter of science. And then also this hobby that I had before kids where, my best friend and I would go pick out nail polish, and this was like our bonding time, and it was just something that we really enjoyed. And it was me picking up pieces of myself and putting them together. So picking up this hobby I'd had, bringing the science that I missed, and creating The Nail Scientist. So I'll tell you as much as you want to know about it.
Yeah. So my question will be, how did you find what you needed to get that started, to get that business started? I know there's something, was it called Rarity Nails?
Yeah, so
Rarity Nails.
So I had been introduced to this idea of nail polish strips, and this was revolutionary to me. That I was like, first of all, you can put them on, they're already dry, so like if you have to change a diaper, you can do it. I mean, you're a mom, like, when are you sitting down for like an hour to let things dry? And I'm
That's a good
not,
point.
you don't have like this time really. And then even if you do, your hands are in everything. I would do my nails and they would chip in a day. And I was like, what is the point of this? So I had been, sorry.
Good. I just have to take a break.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I know, I could talk forever.
I'm on
about
the edge
this.
of my seat because I do want to hear the rest of this. But we will be back in a few minutes on the positive side on RVN TV.
If they were human, we would call them wise. They would be the ones with tales to tell and stories to write. The ones dealt a bad hand who responded with courage. Do not pity a shelter dog. Adopt one.
Say we've got grit, and we'll take it as a compliment. Because it's our uncommon drive, our spark within, that brings us together and sets us apart. We are temple made. And when others take shortcuts, when others take breaks, when others take the easy way, we take charge.
Add us on social media to watch bloopers, behind the scenes footage, previews, and more.
Hi, welcome back to The Positive Side on RVNTV. And DeSantis here with Jessica Shaw with thenailscientist.com. So as I always say, take out your phone, your laptop. You want to check out thenailscientist.com. Got some interesting stuff here. And right before the break, she was telling us kind of how she found out about starting this business through another organization called Rarity Nails. So I wondered if you could finish up what you were telling us.
Sure. So I was looking for a nail polish strip company that had fewer toxins. When I was pregnant, I stopped my hobby. I stopped wearing polish. I didn't want to do any of that. I didn't want to risk transmitting anything to my baby. I don't care. I know it's safe, but I was really cautious. Okay. So I wanted something super safe. And I came across this company, Rarity Nails, and they had everything was like essentially they advertise as being 17 free, but that means it's free of all the major toxins that are in traditional polish. So not only was this easier for me to build into my lifestyle, it was also healthier. And I can show it to you what it looks like. It's just nail polish strips, and you can think of them like stickers. The little packet would come with everything you would need to put them on. So again, for a mom, you do a little nail prep, push back some of your proximal nail folds here, which I'll mention why I said that and not cuticles a little later. Alcohol swab, and this is to file off the excess. So you've got super simple.
And I'm looking at her nails. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
would show the viewers your nails.
How shall I do that?
I don't know whether just hold them up or something, but
Yeah.
she just has, it looks so great. And can you imagine not having that nail polish splatter all over the place? And makes it so easy.
Yeah, my son comes and jumps on me while I'm putting them on. It's fine. I didn't just ruin the couch. It's fine. Nothing spilled. It's okay.
And it's especially nice, I would think, you have to go out somewhere. Just say you're going to some wedding or some big event. You want to wear nail polish and you're in a rush.
Right.
And you don't want to have to spend an hour right before you're ready to leave to go someplace to have to do your nails or whatever.
Right.
So
you take $5, right? This is $5. You get multiple uses out of this. So I can get 2 manicures, a pedicure with my length nails. If you're shorter, more. But your husband's driving the car, you do this on your way there. My sister did it on the way to the airport when they were going on a little trip to Disney World. She did her nails in the car on the way to the airport.
I love it.
So
I just love it.
It is exactly what you're saying.
Thank
It's
you.
just a nice way to build it into your life.
And you know what? She brought me some packets and as a gift. So aren't I blessed? Aren't I blessed? I'm really happy about that. So excited to try it and use it.
Yes.
So now I know we have a video.
Yeah.
I would love to see that video so we can show our viewers a little bit more about the ads that have been created.
Yeah, super quick, just to give an overview. That would be great.
Yeah. Okay, here we are.
All right, so Rarity was started a little bit more than a year ago. So in 2018 in August, and Monica Smith started it. It's out of Texas. This is already, I kind of mentioned most of these, but it's 100% nail polish. It doesn't have any smudging. And here's just a little picture of some of the styles we have for the fall. We have, I think, around 200 different styles right now, so different colors and patterns. Here's some for holiday. We also get new releases quite often, which is a fun thing about this company. The last slide is just about me, that I was a corporate director and I have become an independent consultant for Rarity. And I've brought science, the nail scientist. What I do predominantly on Instagram and Facebook, I have Science Friday. So every Friday I have something that has to do with nails and has science. So today's was about the we often call this area the cuticle, and that's not actually the cuticle.
Okay.
It's proximal nail fold, and you should never cut that. And often if you go somewhere, sometimes they may cut that, or they may, be a little too aggressive with that. That's keeping germs away from your nail bed. So you never
important.
want to cut that. So today, if you go to my Instagram or my Facebook, you will see today's Science Friday, and it is a lesson in nail anatomy. And so there's a nice photo, really graphic, of what your fingernail looks like and your fingertip and cross section. And I give an explanation of what your cuticle truly is, how you should treat it, why, and all that. And so every week I do a different science topic. And some have been really fun, like the history of nail polish, or, from a more archaeological standpoint, or psychology.
Wow, it's interesting.
Like I do all, any science. It's not only just anatomy, not only just biology, but I have done each of the components of the chemical formulation of the strips and explaining what it's there for and what it does. So in my highlights in Instagram, you could treat yourself to my highlights of Science Friday and really learn a lot.
Science Friday. So for the viewers that are watching then, if you're on Instagram, so what is it? Is it The Nail Scientist?
Yep, it's
right
The Nail
on Instagram? Okay.
Yep.
I know we're already connected there.
Yes.
So interesting. And when I was looking at her website, I noticed, like, for instance, it said they're free of formaldehyde. I mean, that's important.
Right.
They're also free of a whole bunch of other chemicals such as acetone and parabens and arsenic and mercury and soluble nickel. I mean, these are things that you don't want in or near your body, right? I mean, so using this product is better?
Yeah, in fact, so I use this product on my daughter, and she's 6 years old, like I mentioned. A lot of other nail polish contains endocrine disruptors. So for a young girl, you do not want to be messing with the endocrine system. It's not, so I think it's important, it is just nail polish, and it's not, it's not on for a long time, but I just don't think you can be safe enough. I think you really should be aware of everything you're putting in or on your body.
And on top of that, I mean, I know for myself, and I will admit, I haven't been lately a nail polish user for myself, but what nail polish remover does to your nails as well, the feeling that you get when you take that nail polish remover off, I don't like it.
Right.
So I think this is a much better option,
right.
Healthier option.
They do have, they have some great non-acetone versions, and you know how it is when you get involved in anything. I have learned more as I've gotten involved, and there are additives that you can add to acetone to counteract some of that negative effect on your nails. But using a cuticle oil daily or as often as you remember is a really great thing for your nails, especially as we're headed into the winter season.
Sounds good. Now, does your company provide that, or is that something you can get on the side someplace
Yeah, you can
else?
get that on the side. There's a lot of great companies that I recommend.
Cuticle oil. Okay. Hey, I'm going to get some.
I usually give some away. I do
Yeah,
giveaways
like
on my
that.
Facebook page, and I often give away cuticle oil
Good
as well.
idea.
Yeah.
Good idea. So if somebody's watching, I'm sure that there's a viewer out there watching who's thinking, I want those. Right? Hey, the holidays right now, we're taping this in late
Right,
November.
right.
Holidays are coming. Great stocking stuffers. So how can they get them from you?
Yeah, so if they're local and they want to look at my inventory, you can head over to my Facebook page, The Nail Scientist, and send me a message. If you want to go to our website, you can just go to http Nail Scientist or The Nail Scientist, both work, .com. And you can order them, like I said, $5 a pack, and each pack will cover you. I do at least 2 manicures and a pedicure, plus my daughter's little tiny nails. So it's to me, you can't really beat it.
You can't beat it. Now, how long will they last? So you have them on today.
Yes.
So how many days?
Yes,
or
so what we
weeks
have
or-
on our package lasts up to 14 days.
Okay, it's pretty good.
And I've seen that to have a range. A lot of ladies, they get bored after a week, so they want to change them. And then we have other people that they have the same ones on their toes for 3 months. So, your mileage may vary, but a good rule of thumb is it's about 14 days. And what I do really like the best is when I try to replicate it with a different kind of polish that chips immediately. This does not. So I like the longevity factor and how well it wears.
There's so many pluses to it, honestly. I mean, the fact of not having to put the nail polish on, not having to pay all the money that you pay
Right.
when you go to get your nails done someplace.
Yeah.
And also having this wonderful consultant. So
Oh, thank you.
seriously. Now, didn't this go quick?
It did. It really
went
did.
quickly,
I
didn't
could talk for another 25 hours with you.
Well, you have to come back. So we do have to end. It always goes so fast. So I want to thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being a guest on
Thank
this show.
you.
So come back again for Jess Shaw and myself. We'll see you next time on the positive side on RVN TV.